And to be able to be an opera singer, I was losing a lot of the character in my voice.
Yeah, you grew up in Wisconsin?
Yeah.
What's the difference between people there and people in, for example, a big city like Los Angeles?
Oh man, they're a lot different. Because you just don't grow up with that sort of culture around you. And Los Angeles culture is much more modern, and especially with Hollywood, it's just like completely different. And in Wisconsin, things are a little bit slower, and it's the countryside, and you know, people go hunting and live in cabins, or
So, what did you grow up with?
How did I grow up?
Yeah.
Well, I grew up in the countryside, and it was just really nice. It was like a really quiet childhood, lots of space. So there was like a lot of room to experiment and run around in the forest and things like that.
So then, if there was nothing around, how did you get in contact with music?
I don't know. I mean, music to me was really innate. Like I was very passionate about music before I even understood what it was. And then I would just go through my parents' CDs and records, and eventually my brothers, and would kind of learn that way.
So what did you like in their collection or in your brother's collection?
Well, my dad had a lot of like Talking Heads and Oingo Boingo and Dead Kennedys and things like that. And then my brother had more punk and like a lot of like industrial music, like Throbbing Gristle and The Residents and stuff like that, and Mr. Bungle, things like that. And I would just get really excited and try to find more, and yeah, it was exciting.
So what was kind of your favorite among those?
What were my favorite?
Yeah.
They all were. I loved it all. I mean, growing up I loved like Talking Heads, and I loved The Residents, and I loved punk like Fear or Dead Kennedys, and Dead Boys. Like that.
So were there any ways to practice that kind of music around there?
No, I mean, not really. I had like, I'd like play guitar. Like in the beginning, I was really into punk, and so I'd play like guitar and like electric guitar, and then I would sing. But I also took opera lessons, so I was singing classical music also. But with other people, not so much. I didn't really play music with other people.
So how did you get into opera? You started listening to punk?
Well, it was like, it all kind of happened at the same time, and I started taking opera lessons when I was like 8 years old, so I was really young. And I was interested in opera, but at the same time I was listening to all that other like punk music that was in my house. So yeah, I mean, it was never really one or the other. It was always both at the same time.
So why didn't you continue into opera?
Just because I really loved it. Like I really loved the idea of becoming an opera singer and developing my voice to be huge, and I don't know, I just thought it was what I wanted to do.
Yeah, why didn't you continue why didn't you become that big opera star?
Well, after a while, I started to realize what the training was doing to my voice. And even though it was making me sing with a lot of technique and to be able to be an opera singer, I was losing a lot of the character in my voice, because I knew that I had a voice that was really hard to train, because it's like, it sounds different. And I missed that. And so I stopped when I was about 18, and then I just tried to unlearn everything that I had learned over the past 10 years and redevelop my voice based on, what I was born with. But you can't really do that, but I've tried.
Yeah, how do you do such a thing?
I don't know, I would just like scream. I just like wanted to like lose my voice enough in order to, I don't know, I don't even remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you studied philosophy?
Yeah.
So why philosophy?
Well, I think that philosophy, for me, is the most interesting course of study, because it helps, you end up looking at the world differently. It helps answer questions about why we're here, and at the same time challenges you to ask more questions. And I think that, especially at a time like now, it's so important to think about things and to be skeptical, and to never take anything at face value. And studying philosophy just trains you to do that. And yeah, it felt like it was just the most interesting thing to study.